This is where I go when I want to be creative, when I want to write, when I want to get away from all the noise of regular life. And I'm so glad you're here. I thought today that I would spend some time and talk to you about behind the scenes of the making of the song Maybe. So Maybe was written for the wedding of a long time friend of mine. I grew up basically with Tony Chamberlain, and I worked with him professionally as a musician for many years. And I have seen him go through a lot of disappointments in love and life, just like anybody who's lived over 20 years, I guess. Probably has experienced a few disappointments. And I remember thinking that I wondered if he would ever find somebody that really loved him and saw his value. One day he phoned me and he said, "I've met somebody." And he says, "It's different than before." And I said, "Well, is she interested in you?" And he goes, I think so. "Yeah, she is." "Well, maybe." And that one word, maybe, got me thinking about him and about her. And Diane Lyons and Tony Chamberlain eventually did form a relationship, and they did get married. And when I spoke to her about the first time that she met him, she was very surprised at what had happened, because they were working together on a gig. She was performing, and I think the director of the whole thing, and he was actually running the sound. And so he was not thinking about being anything more than just busy and really focused on his job. And she said that a couple times when they got close to each other, they happened to touch, and she felt little sparks. And so she thought that that was so strange. She actually made a choice to get close to him again to find out if it would happen again. So she did, and she felt sparks again. And that set her to thinking that maybe this was something she should really look at seriously, because it was such an unusual circumstance. So I took all of that, all of our conversation, and then I asked Brett if we could write a song together. Their wedding itself was, again, really unusual, because they're both really well-known musicians. They've performed for many years together and with different people. They knew that they couldn't just have a typical sort of boring wedding. So they booked this great venue in White Rock. It's close to the Vancouver area. It's called Blue Frog Studios. And this venue has a great studio. And so you actually can record, and it's fabulous. The hall itself is beautiful, the mics, the mixing board, everything, the acoustics are just great. So that's where we performed. And yeah, it was a great night. There was people, loads and loads of musicians, different people were performing, and it was memorable. So the song took on a life of its own. So here we are back in my little room, and I want to thank you for joining me on the behind the scenes video. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned something, and most of all, I hope that you keep listening to the music. That means a lot, and I so appreciate your encouragement. So until the next time, take care of yourself.